Well, good morning, everybody. And it's almost the afternoon, and it's almost 10. It is 10:57 a.m. Now it's 10:58. The clock just changed, even though I'm not pointing the camera at it. This is going to be a video of all the smoke detectors in my fire alarm collection. And I'm not sure if I want to do my panels, because I do have like 4 control panels and 1 booster panel and 1 annunciator. I'll figure out sometime soon if I want to do like the part 4 of the control panels that I basically have. Well, you could see one of them to the right here, and this one as well, and I finally have an addressable device for it. And I'll make a video of that sometime soon if I want to start some tests with it. So anyways, we're going to be reviewing all these smoke detectors in my collection. I know this one's not a smoke detector. This one's a bell with a heat detector built into it, but yeah, kind of has a sound to it. So anyways, we have 15 smoke detectors right here, and we have 3 household smoke detectors right here, and that funky looking bell thing that kind of acts like a smoke detector because it has a heat detector built inside it. But let's start out with the smoke detectors that I have first for a commercial fire alarm system. So first up on the list, we have my System Sensor i3 smoke detector. I actually have another one of these, which is up on my system right there. And this one says it's a 4-wire detector. As you can see, if I zoom in on that, it's very similar to this thing, except this one is 2-wire. And it's got 5 wires, but it's got 2 positives, 1 negative, and the other 2 wires connect to the relay at the end of the circuit. If I can, yep, the base comes off. It's a 2-wire base, and the model number is 2WT-B. This is a regular System Sensor i3 smoke detector, which is 2-wire. And the other cool feature about this detector is when you take the lid off this thing, it has a heat detector built into it along with the smoke detector, because these little semiconductors are thermistors, and the heat detector inside this is digital, so they digitally detect the temperature. And for these 2 devices, these are the newer i3 System Sensor smoke detectors, and the bases on these are a little bit different, and these detectors are a little bit bigger than this older i3. These are newer i3s that have the piezo buzzer, and it sounds like a regular household smoke detector when these things beep. And these are a little bit hard to take off the base, but I'll take off one of the bases for you guys. Just let me set the camera down real quick. As you can see, here's the base, and here's the back of the device. This one is the model number of 2WTA-B. These are 2-wire System Sensor i3 smoke detectors. And these ones also have a heat detector built inside it as well. I used to have 4 of these, but I sold 2 of them, but it was a long time ago. I sold two of these detectors. And these ones also have semiconductors inside them too. Very similar to the System Sensor i3, which is the older one. And what's nice about these is, with 2-wire i3 smoke detectors, they're only compatible for certain panels. The panels that I have that these 3 detectors are compatible with is the Notifier SFP-10UD and the Ancient Release Ansel 542R control panel, which is up on the wall, which I showed a few seconds ago. And there are compatibility issues with System Sensor i3s, but they're okay detectors. Okay, moving on. We have a System Sensor, if I can get it off its base, we have a System Sensor 2151 photoelectric smoke detector with 2 red LEDs. With these 3 detectors, these have a green LED and a red LED, along with the test switch. This one uses a magnet to activate it or smoke. So here's the base, here's the terminals in the base, and there are the tabs that come in contact with the base. This one is different. This one is the same thing, except it has a different head and a different base. This one is also a 2151 base as well. And it's got 2 red LEDs, and it's got the very similar base like this one, but the bases are a little bit different. But I'm kind of uneducated with the smoke detectors, guys, but oh, I can't even get this back on. Let me put the camera down so I can get the smoke detector back on its base. There we go. That's better. And that one's also photoelectric as well. So these two are very similar with, this one has a bigger, this one has a smaller photoelectric chamber, and this one has a bigger photoelectric chamber. Excuse me, burp. And this is a heat detector. This is a heat detector, and it has not been used yet. And this is a mechanical heat detector, and I don't know the model number to this thing until I can find the label to take off the base. There we go. And the model number is... here it is. The model number is... 5602. This is a fixed temperature heat detector, as you may see, because it's got a metallic disc. This one has a glue solution in the inside which melts at a certain temperature. This is a fixed 194 degrees, 90 degrees Celsius fixed temperature heat detector. With the only downside is with fixed temperature heat detectors, they can only be used once, because once they are already used, they're pretty much useless after that because they're slashed into an alarm. So it can no longer be used again. But this one has not been used, so this one is still usable because it has not been used yet, but it can only be used once. And what happens with these kind right here, when the glue in the inside, the sticky wax or whatever it's called, melts, the disc actually pops out like that. It pops, and then the spring-loaded contacts in the inside comes in contact with the switch to close the circuit, and that's what causes the system to go into an alarm. Okay, speaking of another heat detector, combination smoke detector, this one also has a digital heat detector built inside it. But this is a heat detector plate right here that's part of the smoke detector. This is a System Sensor 2400 TH, I believe. Yes, it is. System Sensor 2400 TH. This is a smoke detector heat detector combo, and this one has a photoelectric smoke detector. This one's photoelectric. This one is very similar, but this one's only a regular smoke detector. This one's a regular 2400. This is a System Sensor 2400. These are 2-wire detectors. They're both 2-wire, and they are compatible for the two panels that I've mentioned earlier. So, and I don't think any of these detectors are compatible for this panel if I connect it on a conventional loop zone on the loop and connect the wires to the relay, because I'm afraid I might damage these detectors, or I'll probably fry them. So I didn't try that, so I don't want to fry my detectors. A next smoke detector that's very similar to these and that. This one is a System Sensor 1400 ionization smoke detector. And this guy still works. If I want to use it, I'm going to have to spray test smoke into it, because when I got this used, the test switch doesn't work on the thing. I tried pressing the test switch, but I'm not going to take it apart. I really don't want to take this thing apart, because these things do have alpha particles inside, just letting you guys know. And this is a regular ceiling mount smoke detector, which mounts on the ceiling like that. So I just wanted to give you guys aware. The ones that have a smaller base in the head, some of them are duct detectors and stuff like that. And duct detectors are made to go inside a housing at the side of the air duct, or on the top of the air duct, or anywhere. But if you have duct detectors that have the smaller base, they could be used for ceiling mount applications, but to me it will look kind of ridiculous. To me, if I mount a duct detector like this on the ceiling, it would look kind of tacky. But just to be aware, this is an ionization detector. It has alpha particles in it, but it's not hooked up because it's not producing. So I can safely hold this in my hand because it's not hooked up to the system, so it's not producing alpha particles right now because there's no power going to the base. And the label's a little bit worn out, so. And just to be aware, for ionization smoke detectors like these, this thing does have a small radioactive source in it that I shouldn't really be touching and stuff like that, because those things are very sensitive, and you might ionize your hand and get hurt. So don't take this apart. That's all I can say. Up next, we have a system sensor. If I could take this off the base. This is a system sensor 2451 photoelectric smoke detector with two LEDs on the side. They light up red when the smoke detector is active. And here's the base. These bases look kind of like the same, but I did not mix up the bases, but I don't want to do that because I'm afraid if I do that, they're probably not going to work. They're probably determined by the base, but these detectors are determined by the head, and I think these are determined by the head as well. And also, that's basically all I could say, because these 9 detectors are all conventional. This is conventional as well because it's all mechanical. It has no electronics in them. It's all mechanical. But okay, now we're going to go on to the addressable detectors that I definitely have no use for. This detector used to be a duct detector. This was pulled out of the hospital. And these two detectors are the same. They are EST detectors, but they've been owned by Siemens. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off its base. I had to use my arm to take it off its base. Here's the base right here. And here is the model number. This is a SIGA IPHSLG detector. These things do work with the EST panel, but they're really not compatible for them. Because luckily I didn't fry these when I tried it on this panel once, but someone chimed in the comments and told me these are not compatible for this panel, so if I were you, I wouldn't try that. I did learn the easy way, unfortunately, because these detectors didn't get fried. They still work, but these are addressable, but not all EST addressable smoke detectors are compatible for this panel. These are not. This is the same thing. I'm not going to take it off. Actually, I can take it off the base. See? Same things. This is a regular smoke detector because it's on a regular smoke detector base. This one has a smaller base because that used to be in a duct detector housing and all that. This one, on the other hand, is very similar to these. This one is almost the same as this head, except this one's addressable. It's got 2 LEDs on each side. It's photoelectric. I have no use for it because I don't have a panel to use it for. Sorry to disappoint anybody. I don't think this detector is compatible for this panel, even though it's addressable, but I just want you guys to know, but some detectors are not compatible. This came from the penthouse from the old system at the hospital, but I don't want to give away any private information how I got this, but all I can tell you is this was from the hospital. This was from a hospital, and this was sitting up in the penthouse collecting dust, and you could tell how it's faded and tan. It used to be white, but it's been faded by probably fluorescent lighting and stuff like that, or even being faded by the sun. Yeah, and I can't test it because I don't have a base for it, and it's addressable, and I don't think it'll work for this panel. I don't think so. And this detector is a Siemens smoke detector. This one's a Siemens smoke detector, and it has the old device address on it, and it has the multicolor LED. This thing doesn't work, and I tried connecting it conventionally to a power supply like some YouTube users do, and I've seen a YouTube user test this conventionally with the power supply without a panel, but this thing is probably broken, and that's one of the reasons why it's been removed from the system. It's probably fried. It's got the multicolor LED. It does green and red. It does green for normal condition, and it flashes red when there's a fire alarm condition on this detector. And it's photoelectric. And I can definitely take this off the base. Let me set the camera down and take it off the base. There we go. This is a 2-wire detector. It's an HFP-11. These are very expensive addressable smoke detectors. And no, this detector is not compatible for this addressable system. And it's not compatible for this panel either. I checked the compatibility charts on a lot of these addressable detectors. They're in fact not compatible. Sorry to disappoint anybody, but you always got to read labels and read manuals before you hook up your detectors to a certain panel. Check for compatibility issues and check for the compatibility, because it's extremely important to know this stuff. Okay, I have one more conventional smoke detector. This one's a Bosch smoke detector, and I haven't used this one yet, but it is 2-wire, and it's also photoelectric as well. It is, believe it or not. You can see the photoelectric detection chamber in the inside. And I'll take it off the base so I can show you guys the model number. And there we go. It's a D263. That's the Bosch model number. Actually, no. Actually, yes, it is the model number. This was made in China. This is a smoke detector that I haven't used yet, and it's got it's got 2 positives and 2 negatives. And there goes my cell phone. And it's a spam. I'm not going to answer the spam calls, but... So anyways, that's basically that smoke detector. Let me put it back on its base. Sorry guys, I had a coincidence in the video by my cell phone ringing. And I don't know where these spam calls are coming from, but I just have to deal with it, I suppose. And last conventional device, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 conventional smoke detectors and a conventional heat detector that I haven't used. I don't think I'm going to be using that anytime soon because it requires a lot of heat to activate, which I really don't want to light matches in here because I don't want to start a fire. And this is a monitor module for System Sensor i3 smoke detectors. This allows you to use the zone to power this thing up in auxiliary power. So this is a monitor module for System Sensor i3 smoke detectors. This is a 2W MOD monitor module 2. It's a 2-wire maintenance module for smoke detectors and stuff like that. So, and these three have other household smoke detectors. This one's a household smoke detector with a carbon monoxide detector built into it. It's got a P1210 first alert household smoke detector, and it still works. This is another smoke detector. I have no idea what this is, but I can definitely take the base off this thing. So, and my camera is almost out of memory, so I will show some of these stuff next time, but here's the bell. Whoops, it's heavy. This is a 109 bell. Okay, so my camera's almost out of memory. Hope you enjoyed the collection video, and that's it, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.